and sit down.
Good evening, everyone! Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course I'm your host, Mr. Main Event himself, the often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious, and we're gonna go over SummerSlam was in East Rutherford, New Jersey, baby. MetLife Stadium, hands down, the greatest thing to happen in MetLife Stadium, aside from when my beloved Philadelphia Phillies beat the New York Mets. I said what I said. Now before we get into the show, we gotta pay these funny little gimmicks called bills. So we gotta remind everyone, we are WWE Shop affiliates, so you see some really nice WWE merch you wanna get. Simple enough. All you gotta do if you're watching this video, scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description tab and it will take you to WWE Shop using our affiliate link. You make whatever purchase your heart desires. It could be the most absolute expensive item on the list, or it could be hands down the lowest priced item on the list. Whatever your heart desires. And folks, I'm going off script here. If you got discount codes for 5, 10, 20, 40, 50% off your price, even if you have a discount code for free overnight shipping, you can still use it using our affiliate links. And by using our affiliate links, we here at the Vicious Studios receive a small nominal commission, which in turn helps us make this show better for you guys. Also want to remind everyone, you want one of these sweet Vicious Rants tanks like I'm wearing right now, all you got to do is go to whatamaneuver.net for some sweet Vicious Rants apparel. We got tanks like I'm wearing, we got t-shirts, we got women's tees, we got toddler tees, we got baby onesies, and folks, we are in the dog days of summer. It is one, the heat's going to be getting it's going to be a little warmer for a little while longer, and we're going to be transitioning into autumn weather, so we have them long sleeves too if you want that. Make sure y'all pick up some of that to help support the show. Thank you, and with that said, let's get this business going. First match of the night was Jey Uso and Roman Reigns going against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and I give Reed all the mad credit in the world for still coming out wearing the shoes he took from Roman around his neck, now calling them the Shula Fala. Excuse me. Laughing so hard over that I choked a little. But man, I gotta say, man, listen, I grew up around that kind of stuff. You know what kind of a hurt piece that is when somebody takes your shoes. When you get beat up and somebody takes your shoes. And man, Reed is making one hell of a point doing that. So, that said though, as far as this match went, it started out with everyone all out brawl right at the start. Wham, 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 all going at each other. All kind of wicked like that. Jay was the punching bag for a bit. And then came in Roman and wrecked everyone. And wrecked everyone for a short bit. And man, oh man. I'd give Roman all the mad props in the world. Because at one point he did the suicide dive he does over the ropes. Where it's just like, he's like just straight up jumping like, yeah! And the way he did it. Man, when he landed, it almost kind of looked like he over-rotated and may have wrecked his neck. Like I saw, I was like, oh my God, is he okay? Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, he was good, but good match. The crowd got hot for it. Match came to an end when Roman winds up taking a spear. Roman winds up taking the spear, and then Jay winds up spearing Reed, and then does the Uso splash. So, yeah, they got the win. I'm going to go over now. Not going to give spoilers just yet about what happened with Roman on the Fallout on Raw. Will say this though, Jay was not on Raw after SummerSlam. Easy for me to say. Good God, man. Anyways, next matchup, we got women's tag action. Charlotte Flair and a little Miss Alexa Bliss going up against Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. The heels were leading at the start of the match. Charlotte wound up being the punching bag for a short bit. See, I keep on botching my words. Bliss winds up getting the tag in and then eventually gets turned into the punching bag. Charlotte then proceeds to get a hot tag and in the immortal words of Pat Patterson, "There went the banana!" Charlotte got in, cleaned up, and at one point, Bliss, she went to go do that wind up. I can't tell if it's a working punch or if it's a slap to the face the way she does it, but that wind up shot to the face she does. Flair was holding, I believe it was Raquel, but moved out the way and then just boom, caught Charlotte, and it was just like, oh my, oh, this is definitely not good, uh-oh. And the commentary was selling it like crazy, like, she just cost herself the tag titles. What is going to happen? Can they coexist? The answer is yes. Because at the end, Bliss had Roxanne hooked for that Sister Abigail DDT. And as she hooked her, Flair got back in the ring. She creeped her head over to look at Charlotte. And you just see Charlotte put her hand out and point like, you. And then did a running boot to go take out Raquel. And then Bliss, boom, hit that Sister Abigail DDT for the 1-2-3. They had a rematch the following night on Raw. And lo and behold, or not the following night, on Monday night. Forgot this night one in Saturday. They had a rematch on Monday Night Raw. Flair and Bliss got the win still. I am all for it. I kind of like it because it's that dysfunctional... Not that can we coexist, but that dysfunctional, you know I hate you, right? Not as much as I hate you. Yeah, I know. Maybe. But I still hate you. Kind of dysfunctionality. Anyways, next matchup we got Karrion Kross going against Sami Zayn. This was a match I was definitely looking forward to. Sami leading at the start with Kross, trying to... And Kross, man, just trying to get Sami to lose it. Just constantly egging him on like, come on, do it, Sami. Do it. Just say I was right. Admit I was right. You know, talking about on how Sami's got a dark side. He wants to go and use it. He should use it. He should just embrace the villainous thoughts, that his intrusive thoughts, so to say. Although I will say this. On a personal note, I am afraid if Sami Zayn does in fact have intrusive thoughts because, let's be honest, the most peaceful of people typically have the most meanest and violent of intrusive thoughts. Now's probably not a good time to mention, a lot of people think of me as a calm, peaceful man, but moving forward. Good match. I thought it was nice. And it started to come near the end when Kross had the ref distracted. He was talking to him. Scarlett then grabbed a pipe, slid it into Sami to go and try and egg him on. She was doing, come on, do it. Do it. Do it! And the whole time Sami's got it. And then runs over, throws it out. No! Then hooks Kross. Hits it with the exploder, then the haluva kick for the 1-2-3. And Monday night, Sami was being interviewed saying how, you know, he felt like he did want to, but he knew better because he doesn't want to go down that road. And he still has the goal in mind of becoming a world champion, and that is what he is striving to do. And as that's happening, you see Sheamus and Rusev fighting, and then it eventually turned into like one of those old cartoon dust cloud brawls where Sami got pulled in, got into a shot, so they announced This coming Monday, Sami's going to go one-on-one with Rusev. Next up, we got Jade Cargil, going up against Tiffany Straton. Whew. And this felt like a little bit of a slower pace than the last 3 matches to me. You know, maybe it was just me, but it felt that way. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm just saying it felt good. It felt different in a good way, because when you're making a show, you want to have it be peaks and valleys. You don't want to have everyone just being, oh my God, non-stop action, 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 action. Then by the time the main event comes around, you got so much fatigue. You're like, okay. Oh, what now? Yeah, not doing that. You know, when you have one that's a slower pace, it gives them a chance to slow down a little and breathe. This was that pace. This was that case. And both girls going all out on this. You know, they were going shot for shot. I absolutely love this. I thought it was great. This was hands down biggest match Jade's had since joining WWE. Now the match came to an end when Tiffany wound up hitting the prettiest moonsault ever, after Jade wound up going for an avalanche Jaded, and it was countered. So your winner and still WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Straton. And I will say this, I'm not disappointed. I'm not mad that Tiff won, because do I think Jade's a big name? Yes. Do I think she could carry the title? Yes. Here's my niche. She's still kind of green-ish ring-wise, and I want to make sure I say this in the right way without it sounding insulting, because it's not. I don't want Jade to run the risk of getting Goldberged into being made a champion when not quite ready to carry it yet. You know? So, either way, next up we got Logan Paul, the walking douche nozzle himself, and Drew McIntyre going up against Jelly Roll and Randy by God Orton. And again, just it amazes me seeing Jelly Roll coming out to Toby Keith's Who's Your Daddy as opposed to his own music. But either way, Jelly starts out the match pretty decently, and then against Logan Paul. Then Drew McIntyre gets tagged in, and then that's when it all starts to go down for Jelly Belly. And yeah, match was once that happens, he winds up getting turned into a punching bag. But I give him mad credit where credit's due, just because of the fact of 1, stepping into the ring, and 2, being able to actually help work the damn match, and not just, you know, being put in like the Jay Leno spot where you go and put somebody in a wrist lock to have 5 million pictures be taken to put on ESPN the next day. You know? But either way, decent match. Randy got the hot tag in, and then started working. Eventually, at one point, Jelly Roll winds up fighting on the outside, winds up getting hit, winds up getting taken down. McIntyre loads him up on the announce table. Logan Paul goes and does a frog splash from the top onto the announce table with Jelly on it. That implodes and goes down. But match comes to an end when Drew hits the Claymore on Jelly Roll after he gets his bearings and gets back in the ring. Randy then RKO's Drew McIntyre, which then Logan Paul winds up tossing Randy out, and then goes and does a frog splash on the Jelly Roll for the 1-2-3. You wind up seeing eventually, they showed some backstage footage with Jelly Roll. Listen, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I cost us the match. Don't worry about it, man. Hey, it's okay. It's good. It's good. You know? So now we come to the main event of night 1. We have Clarence Mason Punk, the Pepsi King of Chicago, going up against the Ring General, the World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther, for the World Championship. Really good, solid striking game by both. Gunther wound up leading the pace on it. It was just putting Punk on the ass end of an ass kicking, but my God. As much as he was taking that ass kicking, he just kept getting up and was like, come on, you got more? You got more in you, big boy? And just, at one point, I'm pretty sure I saw Punk was bleeding from his chest. Like, right around where, like, I think like around where his collarbone is. That it looked it to me. Maybe it may have been the way the light was hitting it. But then at one point, Gunther, he's taking pride. Yay, look at me. Behold, this is why I say I'm the best in the world, because I am able to beat your challenger and he's not able to do a damn thing to stop me. Punk then knocks him down. He falls off the announce table. He pulls himself back up and he's looking like he has the proverbial crimson mask all over him. He's bleeding like a stuck pig. Now, both guys went all out, hitting each other with their finisher, trying to go for their finishers as much as possible. And match came to an end. Gunther, he had a sleeper in. Punk wound up eventually being able to get out of it, countered, and wound up hitting not one but 2 GTSs back to back. So your winner is Charles Montgomery Punk, but after he won, we see the return of Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because his middle name is not frickin'. He's hobbling down, his knees in a stabilizer brace. He's got crutches on. He looks, and then he starts to hobble away. As he's hobbling away, he stops, takes a pause, puts his hands out, the crutches drop to the ground. He turns around, looks at the crowd and the camera, leans down to that immobilizer brace, unhooks it, strap by strap, by strap, by strap, by strap, takes it off, and shows the world his knee is fine. That knee injury he got from LA Knight, was not, in fact, legit. It was a trap. It was a trick. It was a cunning ruse on us all. He came down, proceeded to go and beat Punk senseless with that briefcase, told the ref he's cashing in, cashed in, it's official, then winds up hitting him with a stomp several times, and then gets to 1, 2, 3. So your winner now is your new world champion, Seth Rollins. And on that note, Drew McIntyre wound up taking to the interview cameras and saying, karma's a bitch, and at Punk. Because now, not only did Punk get cashed in, much like McIntyre did, excuse me, Punk is now in the record books for the shortest World Heavyweight Championship reign, beating McIntyre's championship reign for having it 30 seconds less than Drew's. 5 minutes, 11 seconds, I believe it was. And Drew McIntyre's was 5 minutes, 43. So roughly 30 seconds-ish. Either way, the fallout on Raw, Seth winds up talking about on how he did that as a trick to fool everyone. Only 2 people in the world knew of it. His wife and his Oracle. They are his group, The Vision. They have all the power. They have the gold. They have it all. LA Knight came out and then said, now you talk about on how you had this great big plan, but I'll tell you right now, the one thing your plan didn't count on is LA Knight seeing that you got that title now, and now I want you, and I want that gold. Yeah! So they wind up having a match that night on Monday. Seth winds up getting the win via a DQ because CM Punk shows up out of nowhere. He comes through the crowd, starts swinging at Seth. Reed and Breaker then proceed to go and beat him down. It becomes a 3-on-1 beatdown. And then as they're leaving, then we see the return of the Tribal Chief. He goes and he starts swinging at everyone. They wind up taking Roman down, and then Reed once again steals his shoes. Yeah. It is not looking good for my Tribal Chief. So either way, now on to night 2. That's right, night 2. And it was Rhea Ripley against Io Sky and Bianca Belair. Sorry about that. Really good cat and mouse games with Naomi at the start, trying to avoid getting into any kind of physicality. Eventually they both wound up cornering her. They were targeting her for a bit. And then when Io wound up hitting Rhea, I believe it was, then Rhea just looked like, really? Really? You're going to hit me? And then they start going at it some more. And it just, your typical triple threat car crash mayhem. Everyone had a chance to shine in this. I absolutely loved it. And it came to an end when Rhea winds up hitting a riptide on Io, and then Naomi winds up doing, right after she does that, Naomi then proceeds to go and do a roll-up on Rhea. So, yeah. Now, they did also announce that this Monday coming up, Naomi is having a one-on-one against Io for the world title. So, yeah. Next up, we got the 6-pack triple threat match. Street Profits, DIY, Motor City Machine Gun, Fraxium, Andrade, Rey Fenix, all challenging the Wyatt Six. Kind of ironic, they're the Six. You know, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, and wow. I really don't know on how else to describe it. Just everyone gunned for the Wyatts at the start. After that, it was just like car crash mayhem. It was demolition derby. Everyone, anyone, if they had 2 hands and a heartbeat and were in the ring, they were getting hit with something. It was freaking nuts. And my God, I loved it. Now, I will say this. There were 3 matches on night 2 that did have no disqualification rules. And personally, I think this TLC match should have been on night 1. Simply because of that fact. I think it would have been better off on night 1 and just take the Kross and Sami match and put it on night 2. But I'm just saying, I think it would have been better there instead of having all 3 no DQ matches on the same night. But either way, really good. Probably one of the biggest highlights was at one point when Ciampa and Gargano were beaten down and winded. John, out of nowhere, Candice LeRae shows up. Johnny looks at Candice like, go, just go. And Candice like, oh, okay. So she goes and starts climbing a ladder for DIY. And as she's starting to do that, next thing you know, B-Fab shows up out of nowhere, pulls her down, and then she starts climbing up for the Profits. And we all know where this is going, because as she's doing that, then out comes Nikki Cross, who then proceeds to go and just stop them. Doesn't go up for the titles, but just proceeds to go and stop them. And then Candice, Candice goes to climb some more, and then at one point, the ladder tips, she falls over, and then wham, lands on a ladder that's propped on the outside. and the ladder literally splits in two. Not bends, not warps, but straight up snap, cracks into two pieces. Just like if you broke a toothpick. And just everyone looking like, what? Did we all just witness a murder? What? Like, yeah. But either way, match came to an end when Gacy and Loomis eventually cleared the ring. Gacy climbed up and got the titles. So next up we have Women's Intercontinental match in a no disqualification match. Lyra Valkyria against Becky Lynch. That really good solid action with Becky leading the pace and just getting really, it was just really good action. I dug the hell out of this. And at one point, Lyra, she winds up getting a comeback, leading up, Lyra was leading the pace and Becky built her comeback. I'm sorry, dyslexic much think I do. But Lyra was leading the pace, Becky wound up getting a comeback, and then at one point as she's getting her comeback, she gets zip ties, literal zip ties, and then zinc hooks Lyra's hands together. And then just, oh, okay. Huh, okay. And then Lyra, I give her all the credit in the world, and I chalk this up to all that great European wrestling training she had. She wrestles as good with no hands, better than some do with two hands. Yeah. Either way, good action. I really dug it. And match came to an end when Becky wound up hitting the manhandle slam. Now, Bayley wound up showing up to go and run some interference to try and help Lyra. Unfortunately, that came to no avail. And that's where Becky was able to get the time in to go and hit the manhandle. On Raw, they showed Lyra and Becky talking. Becky was trying to, or not Lyra and Becky. Lyra and Bayley were talking. I'm sorry for all the screw-ups, folks. But Lyra and Bayley, they were talking, and Lyra pretty much just looked at Bayley and said, listen, if you didn't interfere, I'd be champ now. Now I'm not, and now I can't challenge for that title anymore so long as Becky has it. This thing between you and me, this Lyra Bayley thing that keeps costing me championships, it's over. It's done. Just stop. You want to help fix things? Go away. Basically doing that. Excuse me. Next up, we got Solo Sikoa going up against Jacob Fatu in a salad steel cage match. And this was some really good solid. This was really good. Bit of a slow start, but good action. Now, much to no surprise, the MFT did show up, and they did take they took three sides of the ring to help keep Jacob from to help keep Jacob from trying to get out. And it was good action. I dug it. Match came to an end when, at one point, when Jacob had Solo down, he was going up to climb, get over. Tala Tonga wound up getting handcuffs and handcuffed Jacob to the top of the cage. As that's going on, Solo's getting his bearings, he's waking up and he's reaching for the door. Jacob then just pulls and breaks the handcuff off, goes after Solo, starts trying to drag him. You see Solo from his waist up, trying to crawl out like, ah! And then eventually you start to see Jacob start to slowly get out. As all that's going on, Tala Tonga then running charge, boom! Kicks the door of the cage, hits Jacob. Jacob falls back into the ring, and then winds up getting and Solo falls out. So your winner and still United States champion, because I forgot to mention, this was for the coveted United States Championship, Solo Sikoa. Now, after the match, there was a post-match beatdown where Tala Tonga wound up getting in the ring, and Jacob then proceeded to put him on the ass end of an ass-kicking. Next up, we got Dominic Mysterio going against AJ Styles, and there was a lot of nostalgia circling around this match. First off, Dom coming out in this match wearing a mask to honor his great uncle, the first Rey Mysterio Sr. So he came out wearing his great uncle's mask. Excuse me. Then AJ Styles came out, and oh my God. AJ came out not just in a lowrider, not just wearing a shirt that said Phenomenal Heat, but also wearing trunks, wearing gear that looked just like Eddie's. And not just like Eddie Guerrero's, mind you, no. But the infamous gear Eddie wore when he had that ladder match with Rey for custody of Dominic on a ladder. Oh, wow. Wow. That was so cool. That, like I said, a lot of nostalgia. AJ even wound up doing the Eddie dance for it. But as far as this match goes, man, really good. I dug the nostalgia part. There was some nice physicality in this. It was a good match. I mean, it came to an end when Dom wound up doing a page out of Eddie's book and had his boot loosened. Styles had the calf crusher in, and then he kept wrenching on it to the point boot came off, and then Dom wound up being able, and then wouldn't you know it, Dom wound up using that to get advantage, took Styles down, and then got up, did frog splash for the 1-2-3. Yeah, that was really cool. So next up, now we come to main event of the night. Cody Russell Reynolds III, baby, if you will. Going up against the one and only, the greatest of all time, second only to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Whoo, baby, the Never Seen 17. Would have been Never Seen 18 if he was working under my territory, baby. John Cena. That's my random Dusty impression. But anyways, Cody versus Cena in a street fight, and it was cool to see because Cena came out with that black screen, just John Cena on it. Came out and then boom, it changed. The Tron changed back to his old one. He came out hyping up the crowd. Yeah! Pulled out the towel. Come on, Stu, we got work to do. And then proceeded to run into the ring. And then it just all the old Cena mannerisms, like the old Cena is back. Now before the match started, Cody and Cena, they looked at each other like, one last hug. Alright. Thank you. Love you, man, but now I gotta kick your ass. Wham! And then they started swinging at each other. Really good back and forth with this, with both guys going all out on it, fighting through the crowd. Cody taking the bottom off of the rope at one point and using the turnbuckle to go and hit Cena in the head with it like he's trying to knock him out. And just the whole time I'm looking, I'm watching, I'm like, alright, Cena's going to show this solo trick right here. Okay, maybe not right here. But right here. Okay, right here. Why isn't it here? Turns out it wasn't. John Cena really is back to being a quote-unquote good guy. I hope that little Belgian kid he embarrassed feels better. Also, I hope he feels a sense of relief because of what I'm about to go over in a moment. But, match comes to an end when eventually Cody winds up face-planting Cena when he was trying to go for an avalanche AA. Cody got out of it. Tried to go for a Cody cutter, couldn't. Instead, the way he landed, it more so looked like he just did a face plant from the top onto a table that was sitting in the ring, then scooped him up, hit him with the crossroads for the 1, 2, 3. Your winner and new WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes, once again. After that, Cena sitting in the ring. Here, Michael Cole on commentary, harping on how this is Cena's last SummerSlam. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for everyone around the world watching it. Bow, bow, wow. Ba-dum, 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 bum, bum. We see the return of the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Brock came back. He came down, circled the ring. Cowboy Brock. Maybe it was the way the lights were hitting him, but I don't know. But it kind of looked like his hair got a little darker. But came down, took his hat off, got in the ring, proceeded to go and hit Cena, scooped him up, and then F5. Now, at the press conference, Triple H did note that Brock Lesnar's return was all Cena's request because he said he wanted to have one last run against Brock before he ran off into the sunset. If that's the case, honestly, I don't blame him because it makes for a great story, especially given the history they got with the one SummerSlam where Brock just straight up murdered Cena. Murdered him. Yeah. But I'm going to say this also. I know a lot of people are saying a lot of negative things about Brock. Mostly, if not mostly, all for the issues going on in the Janelle Grant suit. I don't have any, I'm not privy to any of the legal information going on, but I am going to say this about that. Brock's name was mentioned. That's it. Now, while during the McMahon documentary on Netflix came to be, that's when the allegations came out. Brock was asked on it. He declined to answer on it. Nothing has been said on Brock's end about it, and I'm trying to say this the right way without it sounding shitty. I don't know any other way to say it, so don't take it as me being an asshole, please. There's two sides to every story. Now, while we, yes, obviously have heard Janelle Grant's, none of us know Brock's. That's it, plain and simple. And I'm not trying to justify it, I'm not trying to defend Brock. What I am saying is, we need to hear both ends to hear a compelling argument. Otherwise, all it is just one-sided and completely biased. As much as people want to say everyone deserves a fair shot in their fair day in court, those same people will also shut people down the very second they hear somebody said or did something they don't like. That's all I'm going to say. But with that, that is it for this week's show, folks. So, please do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back watch some of the other episodes on YouTube when you get the chance. If you're listening to this on audio, make sure you give us a follow and share it. We are trying to build up the audio platform. Thank you to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. They're a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Thank you. Also, folks, make sure you look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also on any kind of social media, Tim Vicious, I'm pretty much there. Do not forget to follow these cool ass cats right here on the Twitter as well. DSP_IV. mainevent_net, the Main Event Wrestling Network account. All the main event info is there. Sergeant Curry Pants 3 Count Thursday. D Dryer 1986. Folks, like I always say, you love me, great. And if you hate me, well,
shut up and sit down.
Fuck yous.